2 competitions. I've been gone since the beginning of July. I went to the World Championships and finished 6th at the Worlds. And then I went to Amorgos, Greece, which is next year is the 30th anniversary of the Big Blue. It's where the Big Blue was, part of the Big Blue was filmed. And that was an amazing experience because the Big Blue movie is the movie that a lot of freedivers relate to as getting them interested in freediving to start with. And so to go to the place where it all began and to see it visually is pretty awesome. Well, I met a guy and I learned how to scuba dive with him, and he would free dive between the scuba dives, and I could not equalize my ears past 10 feet, and I couldn't get to the bottom of a pool, so I found a class with Performance Freediving International and got him to take it with me. And in that class, both of us held our breath. He held his breath the equivalent of the national record at the time, and I was probably a minute from the national record, which is more than most people in a beginner class do. And so the instructors encouraged us to come compete in a competition in the Cayman Islands the following year. And so we did. And he got the national record. And then I, of course, fell in love with the depth disciplines. I went from about 30 meters in that competition to 58. And the lure of the depth had grabbed me, and I haven't stopped since. The doctor part of my life started way before, when I was a kid in high school. I was really good at science and really enjoyed learning about the human body. And I went to college, kind of had fun in college. I ran track in college, and I didn't really focus on what I wanted to do until I graduated and was sitting here trying to find a job and was miserable. So I just jumped and I went back to college and I took science classes and pre-med classes and tried to go to medical school, and I did. I got in, and that I thought back in my early 20s that I would just spend my life in a hospital, but then I realized that that's not what I want to do. I want to do that some, but not my entire life. In the meantime, I had a friend, Nick Mavoli, who was the first diver to die in a competition, and so when that happened, people got on the phone with me to try to get more research or more investigation into what actually happened to him. And so I was able to do that, and I was able to find some other doctors in the United States so that we could study Nick and figure out what was going on, get a better idea of a type of injury called a lung squeeze that pressure can cause us when we go deep. And so that sort of launched me into the medical aspect of freediving. I also developed a protocol for safety for divers on the platform, because there was some missteps in terms of Nick's resuscitation, and so education has been the driving force since he died. And so I do a lot of that. Right now, I'm actually trying to figure out what competitions I'll do next year, because I'm working towards getting the national record in constant weight. I've got to put more time into training in order to make that goal. So it's a finding balance between working and training. But 85 is my goal for diving. I will continue to do the World Championships. They occur every 2 years. I'll do more ghosts, which is for the 30th anniversary next year, and possibly another competition. But my training's getting a lot more regimented and a lot more serious and a lot more consistent. So next year I'm hoping I'll see some results in terms of getting to my goal.